Hey everybody, this is Marsilio with another video take on markets. And as usual, quite a lot to say. I'm going to keep it tight. It would take a full video just to review everything I put out last week, and a lot of that was correct. So in terms of setups and things I was looking for, gold continued and exploded higher. I mentioned the term buying urgency, and that to me just means when it's pushing well outside the Bollinger Band. Sometimes it can go a little bit outside and then fall back in. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these big high volume pushing outside the Bollinger Band, especially on a daily chart. Fairly rare to have that many multiple days in a row. So gold worked. GDX also worked really well, even just with the gap up on Monday, continued higher all week. I also thought S&P would have a sideways kind of pullback, some kind of consolidation week that wouldn't be too bad. Check, check, check. Small red bar, a little bit of pullback that was bought. That red cross level, that's yearly R1. That's going to be still in play. So sometimes this happens. We get a definitive move, and sometimes, and right now it's above. So there's no serious bear scenario with that above, but that doesn't last. Then it looks a little bit more threatening. The other thing that I got pretty well, I pointed out the NVDA level, and even though it didn't get to an exact tag, maybe it hit it in pre-market. Actually, I have to check that, but that was pretty close to the top. And then the other thing, of course, is I thought cryptos would continue higher despite the softness in the despite not expecting that much from stocks, and that played out very well. Is also Ethereum powering up on a weekly chart, and Bitcoin as well, as everybody knows. So while we're looking at these are the levels to watch for cryptos. Bitcoin is near 70,000. So above that would look very bullish, but I'm not sure. I'm a little bit less sure. Ethereum, the level. Interestingly, this is the same technical level, yearly R3 that NVIDIA tested. And so that is 4015. So we have some data edges that are softening, end of a positive, really. And so anyway, I'll get to my next best setups, best ideas. But this week, the judgment's a little tougher this week, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So in terms of the data edges, I'm going to go back to this one. This is the moon quarter. I've referenced this on Twitter many times. And this one that was in play last week is over. So is that negative? Well, not exactly. I mean, because this quarter one day is not negative in a bull market, but it's a lot weaker. And so the power up move is done. So then we have a bracket there. And then actually Monday, Tuesday in play for ES is one of the weaker shorter term cycles. So I think we're going to see selling Monday, early Tuesday. I'm not talking about cryptos here. Cryptos do a little bit better with that cycle. And then Wednesday and Thursday for ES is one of the better up edges. So even though we're getting this kind of repetitive pattern on the weekday where we're getting, Monday's been okay for the whole year, but Tuesday down, recovery, and then up. It seems like we're going to get something like that again, I think. A little bit less sure on Friday, but still the positive edges in play for ES Wednesday, Thursday after a very negative edge, short-term edge, 2.5-day edge in play Monday, Tuesday. So it looks like that could happen again. For cryptos, slightly different. Monday, Tuesday holds up a little bit better, but then the edge Wednesday, Thursday is not as good. So, but still, crypto has a similar pattern with the moon quarter. So it's going for a very strong that was in play through this weekend. That's over. So, I just would not be surprised at some pullback, but the question is still the larger move. Now, here's what's ahead that could be a little curious. We've got a couple of planets, and I like to keep these astro lingo free, and I'm going to do my best, but I think the visual really helps in this case. And you don't really need to know the astro term. It's just this portion has Monday trading day left. And if you look carefully, there's actually many changes of character on some, not every time, but many changes of character with this type of change, especially for Bitcoin, but for all markets. There are many significant tops on just this alone. And even here's another one. Here's a key low as that change occurred. Then, is this going to be some type of top? It's certainly possible. And what I think it means is that the favorites are going to be less desired. So that Bitcoin's really much closer. Bitcoin's leading Ethereum. So I'll spell out what I kind of like to see in a minute. But that may affect the favorites, NVIDIA and Bitcoin. And then the other thing is, there's another cycle that already changed over the weekend. And I think this is going to, in the very near future, introduce some curveballs to the market, some possibly breakouts that accelerate. And, the trader move would be maybe selling Bitcoin and buying Ethereum for catch up. And similarly, a trader move would be selling semiconductors to buy maybe Apple and Google and maybe even Tesla, even though Tesla looks a little worse. And also maybe some mid-cap innovators. So the point about this is from March 13th into the 19th, I'm kind of expecting some curveball. At the same time, I'm looking for, possible breakout. My best guess on the breakout is actually still Ethereum. I don't think NVIDIA is going to go higher at this point. That's my bias. I think that big level 985 caps it for now. I think the counter trend is a little bit better idea, but I'm not going to pull up the Apple, Google, Tesla charts right now. The weekly charts look better than the daily charts, so let's say it got a shot. And then the other thing I'm keeping an eye on is VIX. VIX is sniffing at a top here, and what I mean by that is bought all week, and okay, that's a shorter time frame chart. I'll go to this one. This is the Dow index, so this is already below its March pivot. Not the case on the ETF, but that's already below, which could be leading. Looks like we're going to see some tech selling. We kind of saw the beginning of on Friday. And then even though indexes, see, this is when the VXX was kind of bought all week, although finished in indeterminate status. And actually, this is first time in a while that this MACD signal line is turned up. So it still might get a pop in that, although it did not go down to that S1 level that I was thinking might happen, but still bought all week, right? So VIX sniffing out a top. So I think that's going to be it. I'm putting out intraday notes as well, and some of those have been really amazingly spot on. I don't know how many people are interested in that kind of thing. If you are, be sure and comment, and that way I know to continue, and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is gold. Because this is obviously a very interesting move. And again, I'm going to go back to what you can look for yourself too on my Tableau Public page. So this is Venus for gold, GC, gold futures, and obviously this has popped this just as much as it has been good for cryptos. But since this is coming to an end, does that mean it's going to fade? Well, this may be getting into a little bit of the astrofluent or category for the astrofluent. If I pull up a much longer term cycle, much, this is 2009, 2023. This movement here, if that's the start of something big, could it be? It's possible. And the reason is another long-term planet cycle in the same position was basically the entire rally in gold before this. So it's not the same planet this time, but it is just getting started. So, it's possible this could have, huge legs But if everything fades, then I guess it's going to be the other motion. That's it's hard to can't really isolate it. It's only in hindsight. It looks like the video is preventing Tableau from loading. But in any case, that's going to be it. I'll post Twitter, my quick takes in the mornings to kind of keep everybody on the right side. And if you're interested in those intraday notes, I'm going to put them out there because it seems like people are liking them, and it's amazing that some of the times I put out, could work, but a review of that would be its own video. And that's it for now. Thank you very much, and good luck.